See when it pops up. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It is 7:01. We're going to call the meeting to order. I'm going to do a quick roll call. I know we have some people that are coming a little bit late. Wing Yu,
Present.
Joseph Chow, not here yet.
He's running late.
Okay, Alvin Hung,
Here.
Catherine St. Pierre is running late. Shirley Lee,
Here.
I am present. Shirley Jang? Okay, and then Bob and John are unavailable this evening. We are going to start with Senator Liu.
Yes.
Well,
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Where's the sweet spot again?
Well,
Right here?
oh yeah, I think.
Right here?
Yes. We have a special presentation actually from Senator Liu this evening, so.
Congratulations to Senator Liu. He
Yes.
is against the
Thank you. That's not my doing, that's all you're doing, so thank you very much for the privilege.
Perfect. So he's actually going to do a little presentation first for us this evening.
Okay, well, it's always good to see everybody at the CEC 25 meeting, and thank you very much for your ongoing active participation. You know, there's not a lot of great things being in office because there's lots of complaints, there's lots of criticisms. Very few people come to your office to say, hey, I'm really happy about this or that. So it's a little bit one-sided, but one of the perks of office is being able to recognize people who really have gone above and beyond. And this is a little bit belated, but it's not surprising to anybody here that we have our former superintendent, Daniel DeMango, who for so many years served this entire District 25 very well. Thank you very much for the handling.
Way to go.
Yay.
Way to go, Dr. Chan.
And being a proud product of District 25 myself since kindergarten, I never imagined sitting at my little chair and table in PS 20 that one day I would not only not have to go to the principal's office, which admittedly I had my share of, but to be able to thank and recognize a school superintendent of New York City, and it's just really a tremendous privilege. I don't think I need to introduce our woman of the hour very much. People know her very well. People love her. 28 years in the public school system here in New York. Did everything. Teacher, AP, principal, system director, and now she's the chief. And, you know, it's a long title, so I won't bore anybody with the long title. I think I actually know it. Chief of School Support for Kindergarten through 8th grade. Yeah, that's the pop quiz. And I actually, you know, before we present these proclamations, I let my colleagues know about what's happening in my district and special people that I think deserve recognition. And my colleagues in the state senate say, yeah, absolutely. We need to present Superintendent DeMango with a state senate proclamation. And so, Superintendent, if I may, Madam President, it's a long proclamation, so just give me about 20 minutes. I guess I'm not getting the 20 minutes. Here it is. It's a very long proclamation. Details the exploits of one Daniel DeMango. And I guess the president has a long agenda ahead, so you want me to do this right now, right? I was instructed I was told to come do the presentation at the beginning of the meeting because we got a lot of business to get to. So with that, Danielle? Where should we do this? Right here or? I don't even know.
You might be more visible
Okay.
up in there, I think.
And Daniel DeMango's sister, Danielle, is with us as well.
Yes.
The former superintendent of District 26. Can I ask our president
Yes.
and
And
our
mine,
super?
yes.
Oh, something changed?
Yeah, this year.
I'm really sorry. It's
okay.
okay. Please. And maybe.
You can bring everybody up. You can bring the whole council up, though. Danielle, you want to come?
Oh, by your mom?
You want to come up, Mom? Danielle, you want to come up? Wall, Mom. You can stand next to my sister, Mom. Danielle.
Proclamation presented to former superintendent, now chief, Daniel DeMango.
Yay!
Is that Christy? Yes.
Yes, it's me. It's me.
Good job.
Great. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Chief.
Thank you. Me too.
Thank you, Mom. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Your next
Senator,
role?
Senator Lou, are you going to say hi, Senator Lou?
Oh, she carried.
How are you?
Good.
Another.
I know,
Yeah.
she's my girl. Can I just say a few?
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
please.
please
Yes.
do. So I want to start by congratulating Senator Lou and saying thank you for this. I will say, you know when you say like there's something you've always wanted? I always wanted to I'm so excited. I got things in my bedroom.
Wherever you like, that's. So, one of the things that I say all the time is, I'm 52 years old. And No way.
Yes.
You're not supposed to say that.
I don't mind, I don't
thought you
mind,
were 42.
52 and proud. And 24 of my 52 years have been spent in service of District 25. So this is not just, and has never been a job for me. District 25 is like my family. And I just want to say, I am so honored to receive this, but I am more honored to have worked with every single one of you. It is just an amazing, amazing space. The teachers, the principals, the parents, the electeds, I mean, is really what has made me want to stay and just be part of District 25. So thank you so much. You do not know how much this means to me. I say this all the time, and I don't know if Senator Lou remembers this, but the first time I ever met him, I was a teacher, and he was a council member in in the district, and I remember him coming to IS 25. He was always so innovative. He was talking about bringing the first computers into schools. That's how old I am. Remember that?
You remember I used to have hair?
I do remember that.
Okay.
So just thank you so much, and thank you all for this.
So I just also want to congratulate Danielle, thank Senator Lou for being here and engaging in this acknowledgement for what, in my opinion, is one of the best educators in New York City. And one of the things that kind of stands to understanding that is just the way that Danielle received this proclamation. Danielle received this proclamation not talking about herself. She received this proclamation talking about all the other people that have supported her work and supported the success that she's seen in District 25. And one of the things I appreciate about Danielle the most is that she will never understand how much impact that she has on other people, the kids that she serves, and the adults that she serves. So I thank you for all that you do.
I'm like this. This is the best gift ever.
No problem. Thank you. You're good.
I know,
Thank you, Senator.
So next, I actually have two schools that are going to be presenting. There was an additional school that we added. There's an updated agenda in the chat. First is going to be the Motion Picture Technical High School, and we have Dylan Cox.
Hi, folks. Good evening. Principal Lopez is here. I'm here with Dylan Cox as well, who's kind enough to coordinate. Can you guys hear me okay?
You're good.
Yep.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, great. So I'm here with Dylan. Dylan, say hi. Cool. I'm going to share my screen if that's okay with you guys. I think I have sharing privileges, so let me go ahead and pop up a quick little presentation that we have. I remember just a year ago, I was there in person before we even had the school launched. Now we are in full swing, and it's really exciting to be back here with CEC 25. So thank you all for the opportunity. Again, my name is Kevin Lopez. I'm the founding principal, very proud founding principal of Motion Picture Technical High School, here accompanied by my amazing founding science teacher, and also does so much, our U of T chapter leader, and of course, supporting us on the recruitment side of things. Some of this may sound redundant because I've done this presentation many, many times. We have made some adjustments because we are evolving on a daily basis, but we're very excited to say that we are now in month 3 at Motion Picture Technical High School in our temporary co-location in Sunnyside before we move into the new building with our amazing sister school, Northwell, with Principal Hurtado here, who's going to be speaking after us. But for Motion Picture Tech, our mission stands firm and clear. Our North Star is super bright. We are here to create a sustainable pathway for aspiring filmmakers and creatives and artists from diverse backgrounds, preparing them for rewarding creative and technical careers in film and television. We know that film and television is still a multi-billion-dollar industry here in New York alone, and the opportunities are plentiful, but we certainly have to create those sustainable and tangible pathways through public education, and that's why we're here to really help elevate young creatives who are interested in jumping into this really dynamic and exciting industry. So our vision is lights, camera, access, because we are providing access in partnership with our incredible industry partners, companies that are coming together to really support our mission and vision, in collaboration with the local IATSE unions that support many below-the-line production jobs in film and television. So our core values are creativity, really representing that we are an art school before anything, a media art school at the intersection of innovation and technology, essentially to provide new and exciting opportunities for our kids, primarily from Queens. A little bit about me. This is a much younger rendering of me. It was done by my former students at the High School of Art and Design. I was the assistant principal there for some years, and I ran the Art and CTE program, which really was the perfect training ground to really bring that knowledge into a world that I feel very closely connected to, because I have produced films in the past. I went to film school, and I've navigated through a very, very challenging career kind of pathway on my own as an independent filmmaker and as an aspiring film producer who really found a very challenging and difficult way to really connect the dots. Really not having a network and the opportunities that I thought really just weren't accessible, right? So as a result of my experience, essentially producing films on my own and trying to navigate the very cumbersome and very difficult and challenging world of film and television from the outsider point of view, thought that building a film school like this through the pathways of CTE and media arts was really a no-brainer. Really support a lot of aspiring filmmakers that I didn't want to have to go through the stressors that I went through the years as an independent filmmaker. I also was the co-creator for the Summer Design Institute in partnership with HBO and Warner Brothers Discovery. And some years ago, I was the Moving Image Blueprint Coordinator supporting the New York City Arts Office to really help elevate film programs across the city, right? So I've been in the film education space for many years. And had the great opportunity to work as an administrator at one of the premier art schools here in New York City, the High School of Art and Design. This is a really cool rendering. It's a flyer that we've been distributing through the Office of New Schools. Has a really awesome picture of the what we hope to call the Queens Innovation Center. It's kind of the unofficial name that myself and my partnering principals who are going to be co-locating this space have conjured up through our conversations. And it's just a really exciting time to be able to bring something so new and fresh and so exciting to the borough of Queens. Again, we are going to be nestled in District 30, but the Motion Picture Technical High School is under the Urban Assembly and CUNY network of schools, and at full capacity will be at about 800 students, grades 9 through 12. We are also in partnership with an organization called Industry, It's actually rebranding itself. The original name is called the Roybal Film and Television Production Fund out in California, which comes out of an organization called CAA, Creative Artist Agency, which happens to be the largest talent agency in the world, led by incredible giants in the industry like Brian Lord and George Clooney. And they've come together to really support a network of like-minded public high schools around the country that are hoping to train the next generation, or working to train the next generation of diverse filmmakers and film professionals. So that is our founding partner industry, and we do a lot of really great work with this organization. And motion picture tech combines creativity and innovation, shaping the future of film and media through public education. What's really exciting is that the window of opportunity is now here. The industry wants more diverse voices, and our job is to prepare these students with the technical skills, but also the soft skills, so that once they obtain those entry-level jobs within the film and television industry, they have the opportunity and the skill sets to really thrive within that industry. As we mentioned, we are a Queens Priority designated school, unscreened, ed-opt high school, and next year we will have our second cohort of students, which will bring us to 400 students with 9th and 10th graders once we're in the new building. I'm going to pass through a couple of these. Some folks know what CTE is. We are under the New York City CTE portfolio. We're very excited to be in partnership with the Office of Student Pathways, because like we said earlier, this school really is at the intersection of media arts and career and technical education to really provide students with the opportunities to explore what we call below the line production jobs, right? These are 3 different pathways that we're developing in partnership with the Office of Student Pathways, with the Office of the Arts and Special Projects, and of course with our partners out in California, who have already started and launched a school in downtown LA, tapping into 3 very unique pathways and majors, as we're calling them, allowing students to go a little more granular in the filmmaking process. So students, after their foundation year, have the opportunity to engage in a craft design, post-production, or video production pathway. All 3 different, we hope to have state approval in the next couple of years, but under the film production umbrella, to really allow students the opportunity over the course of several years to get an arts endorsement in that specific specialty, right? Each one of these pathways are supported by different local unions. If you think of video production, the local unions here in New York are Local 600, like the camera team. Local 52 really supports video playback and grip and gaffers. Post-production, of course, are our editors, and craft design or our production design that is oftentimes supported by Local 1 or Local 829, the United Scenic Artists, right? So this is in partnership with several different folks involved to really help elevate students and create those tangible pathways that allow those students to get their foot in the door for real, not in the way I was taught in film school, which was just to make movies. The real pathways to get those jobs through below the line career opportunities. I'm going to pass it on to Dylan to talk a little bit about our academic classes as well. A lot of folks are like, hey, it's just a film school. Do you also teach your regular classes? Of course, kids have to graduate with their Regents diploma. I'll pass it on to Dylan to give us a couple of words on what to expect at the freshman level for our academic classes. Again, we're here to really encourage students from all over Queens to consider putting us as their top choice if they're interested in pursuing careers in film and television. Dylan, I'll pass it on to you.
I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, it's working now. Cool. So my mic wasn't working earlier. Anyway, so academics at Motion Picture Tech are very similar to those of CTE school, but we do incorporate film for 2 periods a day, either at the beginning or the end of the day for the students. Although film is a big part of the curriculum at Motion Picture Tech, we also take into account our required regions, all of the required information that we need. We incorporate film, though, in our academic classes as well. So in my class, I have a forensics of film course where we're diving into forensics, but we're also diving in it through the aspect of film. So we're looking into aspects of light and how light plays into things. And I know that other teachers are doing this as well. On the academic side, we are incorporating many trips that are also correlated with the film aspect in the school.
It's cutting out a lot.
Sorry, Dylan, you're cutting out a little bit, but I can wrap up here. Your thought here is that, our ultimate goal is to really develop an environment or create an environment where film is truly integrated into all content areas, right? There's There are other art schools that I've had the pleasure of working in where you notice that there's a divide between the academic side and the art side, or the CTE side. Here at Motion Picture Tech, we're starting on the level playing field where both the arts and our academic classes are working symbiotically in a way where film thrives in all spaces, and our academic classes and our content area also thrive in our creative projects, right? This is a project-based learning environment, and we really want to encourage and support and really train both film teachers and our academic teachers to really integrate and work together in a very interdisciplinary manner. So it's very exciting because it's happening right now as we speak, but we're also engaged in professional learning with our partners at Roybal Industry, rather, to really do that in a very seamless way that can be scaled up as we continue to grow. And here's our friend George Clooney. Again, really a wonderful supporter of the school. There are a couple of other schools in the network of industry that are working together. We are all engaging in a platform called Smash Cut, where students from California are engaging with our students here in Queens, and the students from Queens are engaging with the filmmakers from Yonkers. There's a new school in Louisiana that's launching that we're also supporting as well. Really kind of exchanging ideas and exchanging curricula. The curricula that we've adopted and are tailoring to our students does come from the Roybal Film and Television Production Fund. And it really gives us an opportunity to really just engage in production work that not only is approved and supported by the unions, but also it's something that folks from the industry, the networks from the industry are also aligned with as well, right? So, there's a graphic here that we've shared before. It's in order for a school like Motion Picture to truly thrive, there's a couple of different parties that all have to work in unison. And part of my job as the principal of this school is to really encourage and develop a really seamless open line of communication amongst different parties. And that's why we're here, right? We really want to engage with the CECs. We want to engage with families in real time because we are growing, on a daily basis. And the opportunities are really plentiful at a school like ours. We have some sports, and again, this is something that I'm sure Principal Hurtado and the other folks that are going to be working through the new campus on Northern Boulevard can attest to, is that being a part of a larger campus with different schools gives us an opportunity to really collaborate with after-school programs and with our athletics programs. So just the possibilities are absolutely endless, and we are now in talks with PSAL, or beginning talks with PSAL again, being led by Principal Hurtado, to really start off on the right note to really support students that want to pursue competitive sports at our schools. Here are some pictures of our students in action. We've had the opportunity to connect with our new chancellor through some film production projects. Our students are going to Tweed at least once a month now to really capture and edit recap sizzles of the cultural events that have recently come out of the chancellor's office. We're constantly inviting the industry into the space. We recently went to the All-American High School Film Festival over the weekend to engage in a conference. And just part of this engagement, or part of this experience for our students, is to really feel like they're connected to the industry. One of my dreams is to create a school where students walk in ninth grade and they feel like they're actually in Hollywood, because the industry is actually accepting them through the partnerships and initiatives that we have together. Some clubs that we have, I think this is our last slide, just some after-school clubs, really vary. These are student-led clubs that our students really advocated for, and our teachers are supporting, from student government to yearbook to drama. I think Mr. Cox runs our drama and musical theater club. We have our morning and after school sports activities. We certainly have a film and movie club. This one's in partnership with the Colombian International Film Festival, the head curator of that festival. We have a pretty strong Colombian community in Queens, as many of you know. So many of our students and their families are engaging in this activity to really look at like Spanish language films. Our ENL population is really engaging in this club as well. We have Advanced Film Club for our advanced film students that are engaging and partnering with Tisch, the NYU film program. And the list just goes on and on. So it's all interconnected with film at some level, but certainly gives students an opportunity to really express themselves after school. So we want kids to continue learning once the bell rings, as many high schools can attest. Okay, last slide. We have some open houses that are coming out. We'll be sharing this with the folks here at CEC. The next in-person open house is happening at the Sunnyside campus, the middle school where we're currently co-located. We'll share the information in the invite. Folks can register. And we have a couple of other open houses that are scheduled. There's one that's virtual on November 21st. And we are currently in talks with potentially Silver Cup Studios to open up their doors. for an in-person open house with the industry partner on December 2nd, just before the final deadline on December 4th. So really exciting opportunities to engage with the school in person, connect with us virtually, but also connect with us at our industry partners location as well. And that is it. And thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. And I hope kids from CEC 25 from the Flushing part of Queens and the surrounding areas do consider applying to a school like ours, because it's a really exciting school. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Kevin. Does anybody have any questions for Kevin? Anybody have any questions for Kevin?
Why are you looking at me?
I'm looking at everybody. I'm looking right at you, John. Awesome. Well, thank you, Kevin. And thank you, Dylan. As Kevin said, alongside them, we have another school that they are working closely with, the Northwell Health School of Health Sciences, and we have Erica Hurtado, who's going to be presenting from that school.
Thank you so much.
Got added after, it's on the website. Because they are called over.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Erica Hurtado Valentino. I am the proud founding principal of the Northwell School of Health Sciences. It is such an honor to be here this evening with all of you. I am very excited to share a little bit about myself and also a little bit about our school in this very unique partnership that our New York City Public School, along with Bloomberg Philanthropies, is very excited to be able to bring to our city, not just as a groundbreaking new institution for our children in Queens, but also as an example that can be modeled nationwide. So I'd like to begin first by showing you a brief video. You may have seen it already in our Instagram. We're kind of circulating throughout some of our DOE public channels, but just in case you haven't, I'm going to take a moment just to show you this brief video that kind of shows what our collaboration is going to look like. I am Erica Hurtado Valentino, the founding principal of the Northwell School of Health Sciences, a brand new state-of-the-art New York City Public High School opening September 2025 in Woodside, Queens. Through our unprecedented partnership with Northwell Health, this new school offers you opportunities and access. As an NSHS student, you will explore high-wage healthcare career pathways such as pre-nursing and medical assisting, as well as 2 brand new pathways that are unique to only our students: behavioral and mental health and healthcare management. The goal is simple yet profound: to be a groundbreaking institution dedicated to bridging the gap between education and the evolving needs of the healthcare industry. Throughout your years at NSHS, you will have access to paid internships, mentorship from industry leaders, and opportunities to earn early college credits. We believe in the importance of building towards your future while also having fun. You can join sports teams, participate in clubs, celebrate our community's diversity, and even start your own initiatives. Beyond high school, eligible students will receive guaranteed interviews at Northwell Health. Students who decide to pursue a career at Northwell will also be eligible for immediate tuition reimbursement so that you can build your career while also continuing your education. Our goal is to break down barriers by fostering diversity and promoting inclusivity, by showing the world that your dreams are not only valid, but entirely achievable. At Northwell School of Health Sciences, our promise extends beyond traditional education. Our school's philosophy is rooted in the belief that we create an environment where curiosity sparks compassion and collaboration drives our cause. So, if you are wondering if Northwell School of Health Sciences is right for you, ask yourself these questions. Are you passionate about healthcare and helping others? Do you want to be a part of the Northwell family? Do you want access to opportunities that will allow you to build a strong future for you and your family? Do you want to walk into an innovative space every day where you can safely think, feel, play, and act? If yes, then the Northwell School of Health Sciences is for you. Together, let's raise health and be the leaders of tomorrow. Thank you. So, a little bit about myself. This is my 20th year as an educator. This is my 3rd principalship. I am a proud Queens resident. I was raised in Richmond Hill, Queens. I was born in Peru. I came here when I was 4 years old, so I know what it's like to be an English language learner. I was an ESL student, officially in ESL class until 6th grade. And so I vividly recall the transition from being in a bilingual setting to being just in a traditional English classroom. And I carry a lot of those experiences with me in my journey as a leader when it comes to creating opportunities for students. As I mentioned before, this is my third principalship. My first principalship was in the Bronx, where I was the Bronx Aerospace High School principal for 7 years, where we launched a CTE pre-engineering program. And then at Food and Finance High School for 3 years, where we already had a very robust, well-celebrated, top-tiered culinary program in New York State, where my role as their leader was really to find the gaps and continue to evolve the school together as a team. And so my biggest accomplishment there was officially establishing an early college going culture through the approval of the New York State Smart Scholars Program, where our students at Food and Finance High School will now be able to earn the first year of their associate's degree program while still in high school. And so I say this to say that a big part of my vision and my journey and my goals as a principal is to find opportunities, find the gaps, and create access for all of our students. And so as we have seen in our system and just in our educational journey in the DOE is that we have evolved also throughout the decades. There has been a moment in time where there was a deep focus on vocational training and careers, right? And then we kind of took a little bit of a pause in that because we felt like the post-secondary piece was missing. And then that became the big North Star. Let's focus on post-secondary readiness, early college, et cetera. And now we're in this interesting phase where we've come to realize that they both go hand in hand and that we can't continue to cultivate a system where people have to choose, especially when you're children and you're trusting us as parents and as leaders to be able to guide the future of our country to have access and opportunities. And so with that said, we have come to this amazing opportunity where through our partnership with Northwell Health, we are creating a new vision for what a high school experience should look like. Some quick facts about our campus. As Kevin has mentioned already, we are going to be neighbors. We're going to be co-located in this amazing, beautiful building that is right on Northern Boulevard, 5316, right on the corner of 54th, across the street from the McDonald's. I used to live 2 blocks away from there, so I know the community very, very well, and I'm so excited to finally come back home. We are an ed-op screening. We have no screening, so it's educational op, and then it is Queen's priority. And so the goal for us is to provide as much access as possible, specifically to our students in Queens who have not had access to a healthcare specific high school in a very long time. So what makes our school different is that we are offering 4 specialized career pathways. I know Kevin already explained the CTE tracks. And so we are offering 4 CTE pathways, which I will tell you a little bit more about momentarily. But what makes us very unique as well is that we are also offering early college credits for each specific pathway. And so something I am very happy to share is that I am in such a unique position where I have spent the last 2 weeks interviewing some universities and colleges to determine who is going to be our post-secondary partners. And so at this moment, myself, along with our committee, we are in the process of selecting 4 colleges and universities, each that will be attached to one of our pathways. And we have asked for a commitment. What are you bringing to the table to our students? Not only are they going to be working alongside with us to ensure that the curriculum is aligned to post-secondary standards and that they're also aligned to industry standards, but that they're also designing 3 courses at the college level that are specifically connected to the pathway. So let me explain. Many of you know early college, college now, it is not a new concept. Many schools take advantage of that and offer that to their students, and it's excellent. But many of the classes are humanities classes in English. They're very general courses, which is great. But for us, we want to be able to offer more to our students. And so right now, we have universities that are making a commitment to offer 3 college level courses that are specific to the pathway that are aligned to the major, so that when students graduate from NSHS and they move on to pursue their degrees, they can get credit for those courses as well. There will be opportunities for paid internships, not just senior year, but beginning 9th grade. State-of-the-art simulation labs. We are currently visiting several schools that have medical programs like the ones we're going to be offering. We have also written down some observations of other labs that have been created across the country as well. And it is our goal to be able to maximize all of the resources that we currently have at this moment to create the most up-to-date simulated labs at this moment that doesn't quite exist in other DOE schools. And they are pretty much going to be modeling the type of labs that you would encounter when you go to college to major and to be a PA, to be a nurse, or when you walk into Northwell Health. And our goal is not just to be able to experience these as students, but also to increase their confidence so that when they do walk into these spaces, they are college and career prepared. Something you may have heard during the video, we mentioned mentorship during high school and beyond. And so now we're going to get into some of the benefits of being an alumni of NSHS. The first one is guaranteed interviews for eligible students with Northwell Health. Second is going to be obviously an innovative and relevant curriculum. But the main piece that we're very excited to share with everyone is that we are going to be piloting a 1 to 2 year post-secondary advising program to ensure that our students complete and achieve their goals. So with all of these resources also comes expectations, right? So there is an expectation that we maximize the use of all these resources that we have, that we maximize the quality of our partnerships, the opportunities we bring to our students, and obviously the expectation for me as the leader to be able to make sure that I can juggle all of these moving pieces to create a very unique experience for high school students in Queens. So with that said, we also have high expectations for our students and for our families. And so our expectation for the class of 2029 is that they maintain a 95% attendance, that they pass all of their classes, that they enroll in at least one AP course between grades 9 through 12, that they enroll, that they take advantage of the opportunities that we're going to be giving them in College Now courses, and that they attend a 1-week summer camp as incoming 9th graders during the summer. And we will make sure that we offer multiple sessions to make sure that we meet the needs of our families' availability. We will also be offering Saturday SAT prep to make sure that our students are well prepared for any possible assessments that will be used to assess their readiness for the colleges. So one thing that we're very passionate about at NSHS is making sure that we provide opportunities and access for students. So when we get into the pathways, which I will get into shortly, when we think about the daily experience for students, the classes will be Monday through Friday, 8:15 to 2:30. And notice a few tweaks to our course offerings. Students usually take Global 9 as their main social studies class. At NSHS, our students are going to be taking AP Human Geography. They will be taking their first advanced placement class as a cohort. This is something that we're going to be offering, to make sure that we provide access and opportunity to all of our students, whether they're in Gen Ed or in ICT classes. 2, to embark as a cohort in engaging in this challenge of tackling a course and exceeding expectations. And they're going to sit for this AP exam in May together as a cohort. This is not something that is new. It is something that I have piloted in my past experience as a leader. And I can tell you that as long as you have the right teacher in front of those students who lets her students know we believe in you and you can do this, students not only rise to the occasion, but it actually ends up being what ends up motivating them to continue to take AP classes. It gives them the confidence. And so now we're no longer waiting until senior year or 11th grade for them to take their first AP class. Our students are going to tackle this on the moment they step foot through our doors. They will be taking a period and a half of math and a period and a half of science, because it is important that they have a strong core foundation to be able to be successful in the majors that we're about to be offering. The early college credits and seminars and the work-based learning opportunities will be offered throughout the school day where applicable. However, the schedule will be shared in September once everything has been set in stone, and the courses will either be taking place after school or on Saturdays with ample time for families to have the opportunity to sign up for them. They will also be taking their CTE Health Career Foundations class. They will be taking a period and a half as well of CTE instruction. And so what will their first year look like? I know I mentioned there are 4 pathways, which I will get into right before the end of this presentation, but during their freshman year, our focus is making sure that they acclimate well, that they're making friendships, right? That they're really building into the future of setting goals for themselves and being confident in meeting those expectations. But also together as a cohort, they're learning about these 4 pathways that I'm about to share with you. As a 14-year-old, you can't just ask them, hey, tell me if you want to be into nursing, medical assisting, or this and the third. They need the opportunity to learn about these experiences, to engage with professionals in the industry from Northwell Health. They need an opportunity to work with our advisors and myself. And so really for us, it's a community decision-making experience where we work with our families and our students to make sure that as they complete the 9th grade, they have selected the path that they're going to be majoring in. And so that approach in itself also begins to mimic the post-secondary world. Our 4 specialized pathways are pre-nursing, medical assisting, behavioral and mental health, and healthcare management. So one major important component to note here is that pre-nursing and medical assisting already exists. There are programs that have been approved by the DOE and New York State CTE. They exist in different schools. However, behavioral and mental health and healthcare management do not. Those are 2 new pathways that NSHS will be piloting. We'll be creating the curriculum alongside New York State and curriculum development, or post-secondary partners, as well as Northwell Health. And the goal for these 2 pathways, the first one is behavioral mental health for students who are interested in pursuing careers in psychology, therapy, social work, etc. We know that there's going to be a big job market at this point. There's going to be a need. And also a lot of our students right now are very interested in learning about the way we feel and why we think the way we do, and also how it impacts the way in which we behave and interact with one another. Healthcare management, yes, there is going to be a office admin type of focus, but also we're going to be really honing in on the leadership skills component. So how do you create an environment where our students learn how to run an office, how to work with a team, the leadership required to make sure that your team is creating goals and meeting them as well. Each of our 4 pathways will culminate in a technical assessment. As you can see on the screen, these are some of the technical assessments that our students will be engaging in, and some of the sample roles of positions that our students will be able to work as soon as they graduate high school when they complete the program. Our 4 core values: curiosity, compassion, collaboration, and cause. And these are the 4 values that help us in our decision-making. These are the 4 values that drive our decisions around the programs that we create for our students and how we interact and engage with our students within our school community as well. So this is just an example, and this is not something that we made up. This has existed for years. When students graduate high school, there are 3 possible things that can happen for them, to the most part. One is they go straight to work. The second is they go to college. The third is they might have to do both. And so at NSHS, our focus is creating opportunities and setting systems in place to be able to meet the needs of all of our students, regardless of the path that they choose. So for example, this is an example of Kayla. And this is her experience in our school from grades 9 through 12 in terms of career connected instructions, early college credit. So now she graduates school and she can either go straight to career. And I need you to understand that there's a difference between working and a career. So for us at NSHS, it's not a matter of, oh, you're just going to go to work or have a job. It is not about that. For us, our goal is that if a student has to go to work or begin their careers, it is exactly that they are starting their career at 18 years old with still having options to climb the ladder within Northwell Health or going back to school. Or they can go directly to college. And how do we support that? Through the early college credit. So when they go in, not only are they ready, but they definitely got into the school of their choice because their transcript and their resume are so unique. So when you look at what colleges are looking for now to accept their students, they're not just looking at GPA and SATs. I mean, yes, those are still very important indicators, but they're also looking for qualities in the students that reassures them that A, they're ready, that they can finish their degree, and that they are likely to be world changers, that they can make a change in the community. And so these are opportunities that we bring to our students, as well as I mentioned before, guaranteed interviews with Northwell Health and immediate tuition reimbursement. And for our students, they might need more support because there are some that will graduate and say, goodbye, Mr. Tato, I'll see you whenever, and that's okay. But we all know that there are students and families that might need more support, especially first generation. My family had no idea how to navigate the post-secondary world, and I was left alone to figure that out. And I was lucky to have the support and help of some teachers that helped guide me, but I also had to do a lot of research on my own, and I had definitely a lot of challenges and a lot of learned lessons that could have been avoided had I just had the right mentorship. And so for us at NSHS, as I mentioned before, we are piloting a 1 to 2 year post-secondary advising program for our students that select to remain with us. Not because they're still our students, but because we are a family and we are invested in their success. I would like you all to save the date. Wednesday, next in 2 weeks, November 20th, will be our first open house celebration. I will be sending out the invitations tomorrow officially. So our venue hasn't been officially announced, but I will just say that it is a Queens staple. It is a landmark, and we are very excited to be able to share this moment with our community as our official, not just, celebration that we're here in the community, but it's really an open house celebration where we will have people from Northwell Health. We're going to have demo stations. We're going to have a lot of fun activities. There'll be food. There'll be some dancing, opportunities for us to connect one another. So I will be sharing this invitation with you all tomorrow officially, but tonight I ask that you please save the date. You are all welcome and invited to come, and please share this with your middle school principals and guidance counselors. We really want our students to be able to come with their families and engage in our first coming together. We have tons of clubs in our school. There's some of them here that are listed. And of course, if it's not listed here, our kids will just come to me and say, Miss, I want to start a new club. And that's what we do. And just finally, just a final overview of what we offer at NSHS. So we just ask that you join us in raising health and keep us in mind and share the word, because we're here in Queens and I'm excited to come back home. Thank you.
Thank you, Erica. Anybody have any questions for Erica? Okay. Thank you both for your presentations on both schools. And we look forward to seeing that invite that we can then share out. So thank you. We are not approving minutes tonight. We don't have quorum, so I'm going to move over to Dr. Mike for the superintendent's report.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. Get myself situated to share. And thank you to both Principal Lopez and Hurtado for sharing. I think both schools present amazing opportunities for kids, so thank you for sharing that with our district community. Oh, that's a little weird. Is that happening?
Oh, make your browser window full screen.
No, I know, but that's weird that it opened like that. Okay. Okay, greetings everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Today was a little bit of a whirlwind for me. My daughter, as I mentioned to a couple of you, is part of a high school volleyball team, and they competed for the Suffolk County Championship tonight. And super excited that they wound up winning the championship this evening. And even more excited that my daughter was the one who wound up getting the winning point for tonight. So super excited for her and her team. So I'm a little bit in that space of just excited for my daughter. So a couple of things, updates and reminders. I just want to give you a quick update around DLT language access update. I want to share that just because it was something that actually started from the CEC, that we've started to get out to all of our SLTs to start getting some work done in that light. And then I'm going to share a little bit of our current data that we have from our most recent Acadians and iReady information, as well as an update on chronic absenteeism, which to this point, I'll do a little spoiler alert, we're in a much better place than we were last year. but we still have a tremendous amount of work to do when it comes to that. Just getting started with just some quick updates. A couple of weeks ago, we had the fortune to have the ribbon cutting at PS 169 in Bell Academy, now known as the Paul Vallone Community Campus. It was a really, really nice event. Thank all of our CEC members that were able to join, all of our local elected officials that were able to be there as well, and certainly the Vallone family. I'm certain that the school is going to work really, really hard to uphold all that Paul Vallone stands for. So I truly appreciate everyone being there and how this event wound up unfolding. It was really, really very nice. DLT, SLT, DLT language access recommendation. So as I mentioned to you guys before, there's a language access rubric that's linked here if anyone wants to take a look at it. Along with language access needs survey that I'm asking all schools to share, to engage with their SLTs by the end of November, make sure that it's part of their agenda and minutes, to begin talking about the inventory, what are we doing to make sure that there's language access for our families, as well as sending out a survey to gauge some feedback from folks in terms of what else can we do better to make sure that we are connecting. I know that's been a conversation here, and I know, Joe, you've mentioned a few things about that over the course of time. But this is a starting place, hopefully, for the work so that our schools are really connecting with those that speak languages other than English. So more to follow on that, but I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update on where we are. Math Parent Workshop recap. I want to make sure that everyone here is aware, and please share with others that we do all the events that we have. For the most part, we're going to try to record them and have them accessible to any family member that was not able to be present. So this particular session, I know we had some of you on for the math session with Beth. This was recorded. I do encourage our families to engage in this work. There were some really great questions that were posed in the chat, and I think it creates a really nice opportunity for ourselves, for this district to continue to grow in our community and ask those pertinent questions around how we're supporting our kids in mathematics. But the link is here. I do encourage everyone else to join for future sessions as we start talking about math routines more in depth and getting our parents really involved in practicing some of those routines with their kids. iReady workshop. Thank you to Principal Cummings for opening up her doors. We had a representative from iReady, Larson Bowden, who shared a presentation with our schools. This was also recorded. While due to iReady just copyright information, they can't necessarily share their actual presentation that they created, but they did allow us to record it, so it was accessible to our community and still accessible now. Really, really super, super important for our families to know how to access information on their kids. So what was great about this, and I know we had some of our members at that meeting as well, there were a lot of great questions from families that were asked that evening. And some of which that maybe some of our other families also have. So I encourage you, to go to our D25.NYC event page. All of those things are on YouTube, so any of our families can have access to it moving forward. Similarly to Acadians, this one I encourage any family that's in K-2, any of our families that are in K-2. This one in particular was K-1. They had second grade tonight. So big shout out and thanks to Arifa and Danielle from our team. They did a really terrific job of making sure that families had an idea of how kids were being assessed on Acadians, but more importantly, just some things that you can do at home to connect with your kids when it comes to reading. So for any family that wasn't able to be present, this is really, really super important video that we are going to share, and I'm going to share via Gamma from the district page, just so that everyone knows that it's there. I can't view it for everyone, but I can at the very least make sure it's messaged out well enough so that folks go on there and check it out, because I do think it's very valuable information that was presented that evening. Other workshop series, just so that everyone is aware, the Acadians, the one to the left that actually just happened this evening around 5:30. There's a virtual workshop series for our English language learner families that will be supported in both Chinese and Spanish, so that we can make sure that we're connecting with folks in our language that are most common in district other than English. We have a special education series, as you guys know, and we will have follow-up iReady sessions in the second administration and third administration of our assessment windows, just to reconnect families on what it means during that time and where our kids currently are. Oops. That went fast, that was weird. We're hosting, and I would love for our CEC to be part of this. On November the 19th, we're going to be doing, engaging in our Thanks for Giving walk. This was a really big success last year. We held it on a Saturday. This will be during the week. Our ask is that for those kids and families that come, that they're bringing canned goods while engaging in a turkey trot of sorts around the park. And we will also be having a setup of a book giveaway setup so that families can not only come there, they give some canned foods, but also have an opportunity to pick up a book on the way for their kids. There will be music that we will have accessible. One of our own team members has his own DJ equipment, and he agreed to bring that along, and he's going to be our resident DJ. So thank you, Austin, for doing that. But it is a really, really nice day. I'd love to see as many families and kids there. I think it really helps support and build community in the district, while also doing something really important for the community by having that food going to a pantry that can get that food to some of our families that need it the most. So if you're available, I encourage you. If you are willing to volunteer, just in terms of crowd control, if we do have a big turnout, please connect with Marissa from our team. Certainly the more the merrier. We welcome as many folks as willing. And likely it's going to be just being able to engage in the turkey trot with everyone. And then maybe perhaps support during the book giveaway. Because we're going to save that to the end. Because if we do it at the beginning, we'll have so much action at the books and not as much action around doing the walk and then celebrating each other for what we're there to do, and that's to give back. So that I'm really looking forward to. Reminder for anyone who didn't see this, December 23rd has been changed to as part of winter recess. This year, that Monday, there was a middle schooler, as some of you may be aware, and if you're not, there was a middle schooler that did engage the city community around his purpose, which was a call for this day to be changed to a vacation, part of the winter recess. I think upwards of 23,000 kids signed that petition, and it resulted in this change, which calls to the power of our kids' voice, which is what we want to continue to encourage here as well in the district. Say it again?
Now every year they're gonna petition for that.
Oh God, I know.
I think it's just a matter of what it falls out on that year.
Enrollment dates, just a reminder, high school applications, Tuesday, October 1st on SHSAT registration opens. Friday, October 18th, SHSAT registration closes. Wednesday, December 4th, let me just move this so I'm not mixing this up. Okay. Wednesday, December 4th, high school and LaGuardia applications close. And Thursday, March 6th, high school offers are released. This, as you guys know, yeah.
For the specialized high school, right?
SHSAT, yeah. Just know that I'm going to do this every CEC, just to make sure that everyone's always connected to these dates. I think it's important just that we keep getting them out there so that no one is caught off guard with when this time comes. It always seems like, you share these dates and then it's always that last part of the when that window closes, you're like, oh my God, we have to apply, right? So we want to make sure these applications are ready when families are ready, but they need to know the dates. Middle school admissions, Tuesday, October 15th, middle school application opens. Friday the 8th, the deadline to register for Mark Twain, IS 239, and District 21 talent tests. Friday, December 20th, middle school applications close, and Wednesday, April 9th, middle school offers released. Kindergarten and kindergarten G&T admissions, Tuesday, December 10th, kindergarten and kindergarten G&T applications open. Friday, January 24th, kindergarten and kindergarten G&T close. Wednesday, April 2nd is when the G&T offers will be released, and kindergarten offers. 3K, pre-K, Wednesday, January 15th, 3K and pre-K applications open. Friday the 28th, those application windows close. May 13th, pre-K offers released, and May 20th, 3K offers released. G&T for grades 1 through 4, Monday, April 21st. G&T upper grade application opens. Friday, May 9th, G&T upper grade application closes. And June 11th, the offers will be released. Okay. Those are the dates. I don't know if anyone has any questions about those dates. They are what they are, but if you have any, certainly let me know, and we can certainly bring things up the pike if necessary. Anything on that, guys? I mean, it's pretty straightforward, the dates, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Priorities and aligned data. So as you guys know, I've talked about this a number of times. Priority number 1 for us as a district is improving reading for our kids in grades K to 2. Focus on decodable text and continuing to grow our foundational skills through the programs that we use, Foundations, Hegarty, HMH. The starting place this year for our kids is a little bit above where we were last year at this time. We're about 3% higher overall as a district in terms of starting place for our learners. But as you can see, we still have a number of kids in that well below and below benchmark, many of whom happen to be our newest learners in our school to the English language. So while we are 3% higher, we still have that work to do to make sure that we're building those foundational skills for our newest learners across District 25. But I'd rather be at a higher starting place than one that is lower. So we are in a higher starting place this year than last. Our Hispanic learners by 1%, not nearly as high as the overall district average. Our Black learners by 3.3%. Our E&L learners by 2.28%. And our students with IEPs by almost 9%. Which is a really good thing that we're starting off higher. We still have, as I said, guys, lots of work to do here, but we are in a higher starting place, which is a positive space than being in a place where I'm telling you that our starting place is lower. So a lot more work to do here.
Low battery.
My low, really?
Right there in the corner. Wait, which?
Who's low
No,
battery?
that's not me.
Oh.
I'm looking at mine. I'm like, I have 45%.
Who is it?
I'm good.
Lewis, we're losing it.
All students are physically and emotionally safe. This is something that, as I mentioned to you, we're giving out an SEL survey to all of our kids. We have about 8,000 responses so far. We're still waiting for probably another 8,000 to come in from our kids. Do you want my plug? I have my plug here, Lewis, if you need it.
Oh, go ahead. Continue.
Okay. But some initial trends, just so that everyone can see what's happening here overall. So in the spaces where we're talking about disagree and strongly disagree, overall in the district, our percentage of kids saying that they're unable to manage themselves or the supportive environment is a struggle overall is not what you would say overly high. But when you start breaking it down a little bit more deeply and break it between 3 and 5 and 6 to 8, it starts telling a little bit of a different story for our kids. So nearly 12%, a little over 12% of our students currently, when it comes to self-management, indicate that they either disagree or strongly disagree. And in that category are things like, when I'm upset, I have a hard time bringing myself back down to a place of calm. Or when there's a task that's hard, I can get through it. Those are the types of things that are in self-management that our kids are calling out as a need. They're also calling out when it comes to supportive environment. And it's interesting, I was in a school today for a school visit, and I got to speak. Part of my visits tend to be I tend to speak with a group of kids. And when I do that, I bring data with me, as you guys know. And I ask them the question, so why is it that you guys right now don't believe that there is that mutual respect amongst one another? And I have to tell you, what an amazing group of 8 children that I got to meet with, because they kept it very real with me. And they said, Dr. D'Antona, it's not that we get into physical altercations. We're not getting into physical altercations. But sometimes kids say things that they think are funny that hurt someone else's feelings, right? And they say that it's just part of what does happen in their life as middle schoolers. So what I challenge them back with Well, is that if we know that, how do we start making a change in the way that we approach things as middle schoolers? Because all of those things are a choice. It's a choice to make that joke. It's a choice to do something that someone else might seem as insensitive. But middle schoolers also go through different things. They're going through different things that that us as adults don't necessarily see, that we need to be able to connect with, which is why this space, I really want our kids to take ownership of how are we going to make a positive change for ourselves so that we don't leave a school feeling as though someone who told a joke has hurt you for the entire day. Because that's a reality. It doesn't just go away for kids, right? It's an entire day thing, period by period, that it could happen. So this is a building block for us because I think it's really important that our kids take ownership over how do we improve. So my goal is that this changes by the time the end of the year comes. That those action projects help start allowing our kids to start seeing the value in how their voice can make a positive change in their environment as a school community. So that's currently where we are in relationship to the survey. I'll have much more information to share with you in December because we'll have the other 8,000 or so kids that will have completed it within the next week or so. Yeah?
Will parents get a copy of their child's report?
Yeah, we can certainly do that. Absolutely. That's just a mail merge and we can send that home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. But yeah, at any rate, this is currently where we are. As soon as we get all the information back, I'll have a much clearer picture. But my guess is that it's going to be relatively similar to what we have here. 8,000 is a very good sampling of kids to make some kind of judgments about where we are. And the goal is all of our schools are going to be using this to make some really supportive decisions for our kids. Okay. Other part of our reading goal for 3 to 8, explicit instruction, iReady, grades 3 to 8. We only saw a small little change from last year, 0.6 from where we were last year at this time for our students. Almost double that for our Hispanic learners, 1.64% difference from where we were last year to this year. Troubling signs for us that we're really working hard on in terms of MTSS and providing interventions are for those children that are in that multiple grade levels below standard. We really are focused on providing those MTSS supports for our kids this year to start closing those gaps at a faster rate. Our black learners, 4% higher than where we were at this time last year. Our L learners, that is, I have to fix that, that's not right. It's a little over 1% higher than where we were last year. I don't know how I put 4.1. It's only a little bit over 1% higher from where we were last year at this time, which is very significant. We have 6,500, almost 6,500 L's in District 25. This year it's 64 and change. But it is a subgroup that we have to continue to support as much as we possibly can to accelerate language development for our kids. Now, whether you are a student that's entering, emerging, transitioning, or expanding, you still are engaging in this assessment, with the exception to if you've been here for 5 months or less. If you've been here for 5 months or less, then you're not taking this assessment. All of our other kids that are brand new beyond that 5 months is taking this at this point. So it does give us some information, but we do have to rely on the work that we're doing inside of our L classrooms to support our kids in building that language. And our students with disabilities grew by about 4.3% year over year from last year. Okay. Math goal, math routines, as you guys know, 5 practices, building that discourse inside of our classrooms. And at some point, I'd love to hear some additional feedback from our folks that have been going to the math teamwork. Happen to have an opportunity to see Amplify Math today in classrooms where it was about building some of those routines. And I'm interested to see what our folks wind up thinking as time goes on. 0.88% overall change from last year at this time. What is very interesting in mathematics that's different from reading is the largest group of our kids tends to be in this 1 grade level below at the start of the year, which tells me that we have tons of room to grow inside of our mathematics. Typically speaking, we outperform iReady by a good 10% by the end of the year when it comes to mathematics. But having said that, that's not really not what, I don't want to rely on this assessment saying one thing and that we're getting to another place. I want us to be at that place by the end of the year so that our kids are really super ready to go on the state assessment. But 0.88, it's 0.79% for our Hispanic learners, 2.4% for our Black learners, 2% for our Ls, comparatively speaking, and then 2.9 for our students with IEPs. And I call out those groups because they happen to be our targeted groups from our DCEP. Overall, this is what it looks like. The slide actually helps call out the overall percentages from area to area to give us a little bit more context when we're looking at our data for the fall 2023 to 24-25 comparison. And lastly, two last slides. This one, just so that everyone knows, I'm hoping by Friday to send out via Gamma the parent survey regarding are we receiving feedback on our child's performance in terms of a progress report of sorts, as well as getting feedback around the types of family engagement events that our folks are going to make sure that we're bolstering both those relational experiences that we want our families to have, as well as the knowledge of how our kids are performing. Both of those are really, really important. When we look at survey data from last year, school survey-wise, our parents tend to say really, really great things, but we need to make improvements in this work so that we are exceeding that space that we're at. And then lastly, chronic absenteeism. So here's where we're at. So all those percentages on the bottom is currently the improvement that we have seen from last year to this year at the same time. So last year, from last year to this year, we have a 4.4% improvement for our Black learners, 3.3% for our Hispanic learners, 4% for our E&L learners, 4.8% for our students with IEPs, and then overall it's 3% as a district. We are currently at 95.4% of our kids in attendance on a daily basis, which puts us at the second highest attendance rate in New York City as a district. But
What's the number to beat?
95.9 right now.
Okay, that 1%.
Yes, less than, about a 0.5%. But a 0.5% when you're talking about 24,000 children is a lot of children, right? But you know, having said the fact that we've made progress, we still have significant numbers of kids that are still in that space of not coming to school on a routine basis.
And we're also getting into those months of.
And this is the reason why I'm sharing this, and we'll continue to share it, is because these are the months that last year we did see really, really good attendance, although we are above where we were last year. We wound up seeing the decline come December as the weather starts getting much cooler and get closer to the holiday breaks. We start seeing a decline through January and February, and then we start improving again after that. The goal is that we don't have that happen, just so that everyone is aware. Some of the things that we are doing here at the district level. Our district attendance coordinator has identified a series of schools that has higher chronic absenteeism rates than others, and he's going to be serving as a mentor in an initiative for multiple students in each of the target schools so that he can go there himself, connect with kids, offer resources, offer supports to kind of build in a small way. And if it works, we're wind up expanding beyond that space. So he's doing that, and we have 4 attendance teachers in the district that are also doing that in target schools as well, where they're connecting with individual students to make sure that we're offering that targeted support and mentoring support for kids that really do demonstrate the need. So,
And the families reaching out.
and the family, yeah, it's not just about the kid, it's about, yeah, it's that collaboration between the two. But especially knowing that kids know that there's someone that is there specifically for them, I think really matters. So that's just something we're doing at the district level to help build attendance rates across our schools. And that concludes my report for tonight. And if there's any questions, anyone?
Actually, just talking about the chronic absenteeism, my daughter was home not feeling 100% today. And the letter of like your child is absent actually had a lot more information than I feel like I've seen in the past. Like, hey, if you need help with this, if you need help. So the message is getting out there a little bit more.
Love it.
So I
I
did
love
notice
just
that.
even the idea if you need help. I think
Like
that
if
is
you need
an
help with
important thing.
childcare, if you're having trouble connecting internet, like
Mhm.
things like that. So that's something I noticed actually today when I got the email.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
No problem. Anybody else have
Any other questions?
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Dr.
guys.
Mike.
Yeah, you're welcome. My pleasure.
So, a couple of things really quick. Tomorrow at 10:30 a.m., we have a parent coordinator interview for IS 237. The invite was sent from the principal. Everyone should have received it. If you can make it, great. Whoever can, it would be appreciated. IS 499, we were talking about a possible interview tomorrow afternoon. They said due to parent-teacher conferences going on at the school, we're going to look into next week. So as soon as I get some dates and times, I will let everyone know so we can see what's best for everyone. I know Dr. Mike brought up the walk at Bound Park. We don't necessarily have quorum to vote on this, but I wanted to bring up a conversation that Marissa and I were emailing about, is having the CEC help with some snacks and taking from our budget to help purchase some items for that.
For the walk?
Yeah, to have snacks and stuff there for the people that are coming. So that was something I wanted to bring up to everyone, just to get some feedback and thoughts.
How many attendees are expected to?
We don't know.
There's no telling. There's really no telling. I mean, the last time that you guys did that, I remember we did it at one of the first walks that we did, the book giveaways that we did.
That was scary.
And I have to tell you, those refreshments went really, really quick. I think it's just a nice thing, whatever it is that could be provided, great. If not, that's great too.
Who
But
is responsible for purchasing? Is it gonna be Marissa or is it gonna be us?
Maribel, how would we go about that? Because we're talking about if we wanted to purchase some items for refreshments for that day that they do the walk in Bound Park, the book event.
So is this like a CEC event, right?
It's a district event, but we're going to be participating and being there and helping out.
So if you are co-sponsoring the event, you can just find a DOE vendor to order the things from. In order for me to submit the reimbursement, I will need a flyer and a sign sheet. So we can't just submit a receipt to you? Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
So how's it gonna work?
Oh,
And they don't get in
Okay.
mm.
okay.
Yeah, we have to get tax exempt. So, do we just throw us on there? That's like a sponsor?
yeah, of course.
I mean, we
Yeah.
could easily put down that we're
Yeah, if you guys are willing to do that,
if
it could be a
everyone's
co-sponsored
really
event. I
good.
think it's actually a nice thing that the community would able to see us together in that light anyway.
I don't know if I can weigh in on it.
No, you can wait.
Oh,
You still give your
It doesn't
thoughts.
matter, that's fine.
I mean, we have to take a vote.
Yeah. and
Listen, we
unfortunately,
can't
vote
be at
right now.
everything, Catherine. It's
Yeah, I
just,
try my
that's
best.
the reality, but,
Yeah.
yeah.
And if I do come, it's just for, it might just be for a little while, I'd like to, but.
I just wanted to get some feedback. We can't actually vote on it
Yeah.
right now, but I just wanted to get some feedback from everyone on it.
So, I mean, it's a walk, right? So we would want like, snacks at the. Yeah, like individually.
Just a small little bottle of water, maybe.
Yeah.
That's it.
Uh-oh, this is cool.
You taking what?
I'm joking.
Oh.
I'm joking. Okay. Anybody else have any thoughts on it? Shirley, Alvin?
Nope.
Shirley? I'm looking at both Shirleys.
No, I agree with co-sponsoring, to buy snacks or, refreshments.
Definitely.
It's just that the logistics of purchasing.
Like who's gonna
Mm.
go and actually buy
Yeah.
it and who's gonna claim it, all that.
And what are the DOE vendors that we have to like?
Because the thing is,
We
I
have
feel
marathon
like
come
we
up.
don't know.
Yeah, and it's, the
Who
window is
gets-
short, so it
Going
might
to
not
the venue.
wind up working out
Like,
anyway between
I
the
know-
time that you, all right, well, it'll still can go down as a co-sponsor, I don't care about that.
Like like
just
a
wondering
award night,
when we're
ordering
gonna
like
be
a
able to vote on
pen and all that. We have to use the DOE affiliated
Vendors.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know when it comes to food and snack. I'm not sure.
Maribel, can you answer that possibly? If we were to use a DOE vendor, do we give you the information, it gets ordered and gets delivered? Like, do we have to go purchase it? Like, that's the questions that are,
So with the DOE vendor,
that would be easier.
But even like snacks too?
Yes.
so everything
Yeah,
that,
different ones, but you like
because these are, tax levy dollars. So anything that the CEC purchases with these dollars has to be from the DOE vendor. I would also need the order.
Of what we want specifically.
If it's over $250, you would need 3 bids.
So it's like almost
complicated to use
impossible
all.
to purchase.
But not, so like, I've ordered food for lots of councils, like every month I order food for councils. Like councils that don't have AAs, every month we order food. I'm not sure if you all have a list of like, do you have a list, Esther, of DOE vendors? Yeah. Like food vendors?
Yeah, like, I don't know who they
I
are.
have one that I collected from, when I was supporting the Bronx.
Yeah, because I have no clue even who the vendors are for us to like even.
What's our budget?
And I think Panera is also a vendor. But they're a vendor, like if you want.
But do they have a place that does, that where they can just like get little, like bags of pretzels? Do they have ones that will
Like
do
a
like
BJ
the,
type thing.
like pretzels and bottled waters?
chips
There's gotta be a
and-
vendor that does
I'm
just those
sure,
types of
but
things.
yeah, we could like do
Yeah.
some investigating.
Because I don't think it's really like the type of snacks like you would get
No,
from
we
a
want, like,
Panera.
something grab and go,
Just
like
like a little bag
water.
of pretzels, just if they wanna have a little snack as they're going on their walk.
But
Um,
we unfortunately can't vote on it right now.
So your budget is allocated, right? You wouldn't happen to have a copy of the budget anywhere, right, electronically?
I might have a copy of it with me.
So on each line of the budget, it's allocated certain things, right? Member reimbursements, events, food. I don't know how you all divided your budget, but if there's a food item, line item already, it doesn't mean you will every time you spend food, right? If it's food, you already allocated this much money towards the food, that just means you order.
Just put in the purchase order for it.
But if it exceeds $250, you need to get 3 bids.
Right.
3 vendors. So let's say, for example,
Yeah.
like DJ, Costco, Stop and Shop.
Right. You can't spend more than $250 with one person.
No,
You can, as long as the it goes to the lowest,
so then,
the lowest cost amongst the
Oh.
bids.
None of these vendors give low cost to the DOE.
they love to like,
How many people did you have last year?
that's why.
For this event, is this a new event?
So
I
for
don't-
this event wasn't as large, but this year we're giving books away. So, we might wind up getting, the last time we did the book giveaway, remember, we had like 1,000 people there.
Yeah, we have a lot of
I
people.
knew I
That's
had
why,
So
you know,
whether that happens this time
Yeah.
remains to be seen, but I feel like anytime we do a book giveaway, we get a lot of people
We
come.
get a lot of people.
A lot of people come.
Mike, that was with the councilwoman, was that with Sandra on this? With the-
Last
Yeah.
year, yes, she did one, Councilmember Palladino did one with us. We had 2 different ones.
Yeah, we had
Last year, we did one for around Halloween
a
time.
Halloween.
Yeah.
When is this event?
November
19th.
19th.
Okay, so I would have to talk to the SGO, Elena, I'm sure you are familiar.
Mhm.
Because I don't see anything that really kind of shows food. I see member reimbursements, the P card, which only the
We can't
AA
use
can
right
touch. The office supplies, and then meeting expenses it's like vague. I don't know if that means like if food would be considered meeting expenses. I would ask her, but I just don't see a line really allocated for
events.
For that.
food, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, don't
You can hold on to that copy because I have another copy. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
You don't have to
so,
stress yourselves over it, but we can put you guys down as a co-sponsor anyway.
I'll see what we
Yeah.
get back from
Yeah.
Maribel and we'll see. I think what Maribel and I were talking about just before the meeting started is even if we talk about questions for town hall tonight, because of certain things, we may want to do an extra check-in with Face next week, because that's the way we can actually do it, online check-in, rather than, because we can't do a Zoom meeting otherwise, for like a special meeting. So, I don't know if there's like a specific day that works for everyone for a check-in.
For the town hall?
Yeah, that we can get as many of us on as possible, because we do need to finalize questions, and we do have that tonight. available, the one, Maribel emailed the 10 that she has, and then Lewis has access to show us the Google form as well.
Yeah, they sent the 10 questions.
But there's also the ones from the Google form from Lewis. You have those, Lewis, right?
These questions came from the,
From the registration. But from the meeting the other day that we were talking about, we were told like 13 to 15 prepared questions should be.
I've got questions.
Start putting them in the Google form, come on. I think, looking at it though, I feel like meals has come up a few times. I don't know why, but I see that in the email from Maribel, there was something about school lunches, and there's also something in the Google form.
Oh, so were we finalizing the questions now? No.
We're not, no, I'm gonna go on to that. I just wanted to kind of mention that we're probably gonna have to do an extra check-in to be able to finalize those questions, so we can get them over to
So you
Faith.
need a time, you want to set a time to do it?
Of what's
Is that what
going to be best for everyone.
So we're gonna do the special meeting for this?
We can't do a special meeting, because we can't hold a special meeting on Zoom, we would have to be in person. So if we do a face check-in with Maribel, we can have a Zoom meeting.
Okay.
Okay, so there are parent-teacher conferences both Thursdays, tomorrow and the following Thursday, so
No, let's not do
both of those days.
So let's avoid
are-
Thursday.
Yes, that would be not working. And Monday, there's no school, so that leaves us to Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. I mean, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Friday.
yes.
I could do Tuesday.
I could do Tuesday too.
Is there a certain time that's best for everyone?
Noon is good.
Noon is best for me. That's lunchtime, that's why.
So November
We're
12th at
sacrificing
noon, Maribel, can
lunchtime.
that work for you?
Do that, yep. What about you guys? Alvin?
I'll just do
I would
Alvin,
say
Joe?
Before 12?
Before 12?
Before 12.
Before 12.
Like 11?
11?
Yes.
Joe?
I could do 11.
Any thoughts?
I can wait.
That's retirement life.
Oh, it's not pick up time or drop off time, so 11 is good for you.
So 11 we're looking at. Okay, so Tuesday, November 12th, 11 works then?
I have to attend this too, right?
What?
The meeting.
If you're able to,
I have a school trip.
Well, yeah, that's
so
school
you're in school,
hours.
so don't worry about that.
Yeah,
Like,
it's okay.
but you're fine. Like, but when you're available for something, if we do like a check-in and you're available, then feel free to jump on those. So we'll address town hall further there. I did attend 2 meetings, over the last week and a half that I just wanted to bring to everybody. I did have a, CEC president's meeting with Chancellor Ramos. A lot of questions were asked, a lot of questions were shared that she will get back to us with some answers, but she's also looking to have some focus groups on things. So there should be more to come on that. I feel like there's a little bit of we're gonna have some of those similar kind of answers probably come in our town hall as well, that she'll have to look into certain things. And the other meeting that I had was on D210 regulation. And I know that I kind of got on a few minutes late, but there was nobody from legal on, and I know there was a lot of feedback from all the other councils that they wished legal had been on there, because this is months after an incident and it's coming up now.
Can you said
D210 regulation.
Can you just like give a little feedback on what?
That was the email that there was,
Yes.
like harassment issues, right? It was and
Yes.
we were all like, why are we getting this right now?
Yeah, so it's basically the Council Code of Conduct and Complaint Procedures, Anti-Discrimination and Anti-Harassment Policy. And they're undergoing a review, and so because of that, the council presidents were all asked to sit in on a meeting, just to get some feedback from us. But a lot of the feedback ended up being that we had wished legal was there, because being that it's coming up now, and a lot of people kind of were unsure.
So what was the point of the meeting?
We didn't really come to a resolution of anything from the meeting.
So what is gonna come in the future for this regulation?
They were going to share feedback back, and we were gonna go from there.
Okay.
But it was really like, just being aware to review that regulation on your own, which we did get that, there was an email, I could forward it over again. So you guys have access to it, just to really be aware of the regulation. So that we're all mindful of that as council members, that we are elected officials and we need to be mindful of the regulation in itself.
So just to go back to how you said that, you met with, Chancellor, yes. And she said she needs to look into her response to a lot of things was I need to look into that.
So certain things, I need to look into it,
So-
or let me talk to them, or we're gonna make focus
Right.
groups, things like that, and she's gonna try to have some more meetings around certain topics.
So I think one of the times we met with you, Mirabelle, you said that if we give some of our questions to you in advance, that maybe she'll have
Exactly.
more prepared answers for them.
She has time to prepare.
And she'll be able to also bring cabinet members.
Who can help
Who
answer?
can answer some of that
Yes.
stuff.
Mhm.
So I don't know how everybody feels about it, but I guess we'll figure that out.
Yeah, and I
when we
think that's
discuss.
why we definitely wanna look during the check-in and really get those questions honed in.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
get
and I
them
think it
over.
depends on how specific the questions are, right? You know, it makes it harder to answer something directly when it's
Put them on the form.
an individual
Well, if you can't do the
question
form,
versus.
Public, we
Type
have
of-
to accept the
Yep.
questions from.
Okay.
As
Okay.
long as, you know, as long as we all know, face know about it,
Yeah.
right? So.
And then the other piece of that is also if there's somebody that wants to volunteer to kind of be the point person at the town hall to take the questions that are coming from the audience and sort them.
Oh,
to
I
make
think
sure they're not
last
repeat
time-
questions
I
or
think
anything.
last time, Joe, weren't you one of,
I think you and I had it.
right?
We received the questions.
We received
kinda
the ones from
like
the audience and we were
sorted
sorting them,
out.
yeah,
reviewed them.
Shirley and I, actually.
Mhm.
Oh.
So we went like a point person, so we could put that person seated at the end to capture those. It was Shirley and I that had done it. Yeah, you're good. So I don't know if anyone wants to volunteer to be that person. It's really gonna make sure that we're not like asking a repeat question and look at the themes and things like that, to take in the ones that we
You
received.
sift through them so that there's not redundancy where you have the same question being asked 5 or 6 times.
You just would put it to the side. If it's something we've asked already, you'll put it to the side. If it's something,
You have to set
a
the
similar
question.
theme, you're gonna, and then,
I know in the old days, the chancellor will bring someone, they'll look at the question, they don't like it. That's what Corinne
well, they're
did.
not gonna see the question, we're gonna be asking it.
No, I
Look
don't,
at the question.
yeah.
I mean, you could see me walking around grabbing the questions and bringing it straight up.
Yeah.
How many
And
questions,
BB
how
will
many
be there
cards do you
also.
wind up having
I
to
can
sort?
do that.
Like, I mean, it
Yeah.
could be as many as everybody's that is there.
So
Yeah.
it's very dependent. I would say now generally more people will join online than in person.
Okay.
However, the person who is, the vendor who does the online, there is a Q&A feature for folks that are online.
Okay.
We give him comment cards as well. He writes down the questions that come into the QA, and we also give those to you as well.
Okay.
It's very dependent on the, like, you know, some places I've gotten 3 comment cards, some places I've gotten like 20 and 25. So it really varies.
How many questions will she be answering? 10 minutes?
We're
15
talking
minutes?
about 13 to 15
Yeah, but at
probably.
the
It's
end,
all-
we
it's-
don't
yeah.
have that much time.
It's
Yeah,
all-
it depends
it's all
on how much we
dependent.
can get through.
But I think that, even having the comment cards there anyway, the goal of them, whatever is not answered, is taken back.
It's taken back for her to
And then,
look at.
responses are then offered to
You
the
trust me in
CC.
doing that? You trust me in doing
If
that?
you would like to volunteer to do it, I'm asking if anyone would like to volunteer that job.
I'll volunteer for that.
Okay.
You better make sure I show up on time.
I will remind you that day. So we're gonna make sure you're seated towards the end so that you can capture them from face giving them to you. I kind of kind of went over into Chancellor Town Hall because that was really it for President's report. Other than that, we need people to get there a little early the day of, for those of you that weren't on the Zoom the other day. I will get there as early as possible that day, but we need some other people that can get there. What time did we say?
Maybe
Like 4 something, right?
Yeah.
Like 4:30 that day.
It starts at 6, right?
The Chancellor's part starts at 6. There are going to be performances though, starting at 5:15.
Yeah, I'm very confident Mr. Leung, Principal Leung will have
I will
the
be
school
there
all set and
around
ready to go
3:30.
for everyone.
So I updated the flyer to say doors open at 5:30, and Principal Young contacted me today and said, can you put
Five 15?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock?
They are ready.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why I'll get there probably between like 3 and 4, but if other people can get there between 4:30, it would
Come
be
as early as
helpful.
I can. I just can't tell you exactly what time now.
That's fine.
It's
I just want to make sure, because I know not everyone was able to be on the Zoom the other day, so I just wanted to kind of put that out there.
It's a Thursday, right?
No, Monday.
No, it's a Monday.
It's Monday.
Monday.
I should be there. I'll be there
I
early.
don't know the time.
Thank you.
Yeah, we gotta make sure that he's not late.
We're gonna be sending messages.
It's okay. If he's late, I'll be the alternative. It's all right. It's not that
Okay.
big of a-
So you'll be his backup. Okay, thank you. Okay, so that's all I had for President's Report and Chancellor Town Hall for right now. I'm gonna move to public speaking. Do we have anything?
Yeah, I guess I'm the only one on the list.
I don't know if there's anyone online after
I
you,
can
but we'll
stand
start
over
with
here.
you.
I'll come so I don't
Was
block
there anyone
anybody. I know Danielle had to leave, she was with her mom, but I just wanted to say that that was really a nice touch from Senator Lou with the proclamation. She really deserved it. You know, she's a born educator in the district, similar to me. You know, I started at PS 169, went through all our schools, and I still argue the fact that Bayside High is District 26 because we lose so many kids to District 26 high school, but she really deserved it. We've been very fortunate since I was a little kid to have unbelievable superintendents and deputies, and Mike is, you know, following the same lead, so she really well deserved. Next note, I'm not here to talk politics, but local races, I want to congratulate our people who are a very big part in our schools, and we were so happy to see the people that not only, it's not always about giving money to schools, and it's about going, like Assemblyman Braunstein, he goes and teaches about government and things. So from John Liu yesterday, Senator Stavisky, Assemblyman Ron Kim, Eddie Braunstein, Millie Rosick. Yes, all of our main key, what I call cogs for our schools. It's so important because the UFT endorsed all of these people because that's our thing when it comes to kids. You know, we look at the people that want to support, and not just, again, and money's a big part, but they're part of the kids. They come to graduations, they speak, and it's a really nice touch. And the last piece about December 23rd, and I'm not taking anything away from the Isaac, the student that had all those petitions, the Chancellor, David Banks, never got back to him. So he came back into the situation with Melissa Ramos, and she had to speak to Eric Adams. And they did the press conference at UFT because the UFT was also a big, part of it. It rightly deserved. Talk about attendance, Dr. Mike, it would have been
Nobody in
real
school.
right. And
Nobody showed up that
it
day.
is a big piece when you talk about attendance and lateness. And when Umet was principal at 201, that was one of the first things we talked about. And he was coming up with ideas, and he said to me, the teachers may not be happy, or but they bought into it. And you would tell me stories, and you made calls, and it's all hands on deck, and it is very important. And I understand kids when they're younger, you get sick and it's contagious in the class, but for the most part, we really have to make that effort. And I think you had some of the great ideas, so it was a big part. So I'm a big believer in attendance and especially lateness, because that's one of the things that I couldn't wait to retire, because if I wasn't a half hour early, I was late. And when you're in traffic and having to go to schools and meetings and things, but this is what you teach kids about jobs, so it's so important at a young age, and we do such wonderful things. So I want to thank the CEC again for all what you do, and I know Diana Stein was talking to me through a text about some interesting things coming up and scheduling in the girls' league and what else? There was one of the other new sports coming in, and a lot of really good things. I'm glad the Chancellor is coming. I met her about a week ago, And at UFT, she came for a training for a teacher center, and she really is somebody who's a teacher or principal in the school system, and that's what we look, and hopefully she's able to make an impact and stay. She seems really a listener. She's a listener. So if you have questions, I would suggest, I'm not telling, ideas, but the main topics that Dr. Mike has is citywide, and you break it down, whether it be L, special ed, and you work with that. It's a CEC asking those questions, because we're in a good place, and the new curriculums, we'll get through it. It's always, but our schools, and I go from district. I was in the Bronx last week, and you know what? The kids are learning, but we do special stuff. Each principal, when they talk to me, and it's just amazing that it's not just ELA and math. There are other things that fit into a schedule. You can't believe what our kids can do. So thank you, Dr. Mike, for leading the way. It was a nice thing. I just found out about Danielle the other day with John Liu, and well deserved. And Umed, you weren't here last week. I don't know if you were on the Zoom, but I want to congratulate you. And it's a great fit, and thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. I know Shane is on. Shane, did you have anything?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, any new business?
Nope. Well, I guess Joe, Catherine, and I were on the math leadership team with Beth Eaton, and we've been taking turns visiting some of the schools. And I visited PS 32 last week with Beth, and also MS 379. So at PS 32 last week, we sat in a 5th grade dual language class, the dual language with Korean. And I guess they're the class that's piloting the illustrative math, right? And I guess they were expecting us, because when we came in, they were all sitting like this. all of them. And we were like, wow, okay. They were quiet, they were very respectful. And these kids were smart. And I think what was the lesson that was taught that day, I think they got it. They got the concept. But I don't think the illustrative part was, the exploring part was really captured, right? I think they could, do more than that. There were times where they had a math partner, and then they discussed, the problem that they were given, right? But I think that group in particular might not have been the best group, because culturally, okay, these kids all go to, like tutoring, or, so their math are really good. It would have been better, to visit a 2nd or 3rd grade class, and see how that would work.
Yeah, listen, I think there's it's all this is good feedback, right? It's about seeing what the programs have to offer, and then be able to make good choices. I happen to be at 379 today as well, and you can see the benefits to what the programs can offer. I happen to see an amplify lesson, and what I love actually about what I saw is that you're able to capture information in the moment. So as kids are responding, you see it right on your screen.
Yes.
It's immediate.
Yeah. I was at 379.
And you can make decisions as a teacher to help support kids in different ways, just because the information's so accessible.
Yeah.
Right in front of you.
Transparency.
Yeah.
Like there's, the teacher was able to share, everyone's answers, right, and talk about it, and they were, I like the transparency.
Yeah.
So I think from what I saw, because I did also, sorry, did I need to?
No, no, no,
Are you
no.
gonna be- Okay. So I also went to 2 schools. I went to PSIS 164 and JHS 185. We were both there together today, actually. And I think that
I'm sorry.
I guess not every school is. I guess the teachers are able to pick which components. Like if they want it to be a more digitized platform, they can do that. If they want it to be more textbook, they can do that. And I think that being able to have that flexibility. is nice. I am a paper person.
Yeah.
So I'm always
We
pushing
noticed.
for the pen and paper. But I think that as an observer who is not maybe like, you know, who's not really like in the classroom, I think it's hard sometimes coming in to see just like one snapshot of the lesson versus like the whole scope of the lesson from kind of like the arc of like a full unit. I think would maybe give a better picture. That being said, Beth is working her heart out on all of this. She is really a superstar. She is really passionate about getting the right thing for all of our kids. She's really open to all the feedback. She has been just,
She's a dynamo.
she's amazing. She's been amazing through this whole thing. She's really willing to listen to what everybody has to say.
So she refers to herself as the math team because she is the math team. She, you know, we are fortunate in having a pretty big literacy team. Our math team is Beth. You know, so she does take all of this very seriously. And honestly, the reason why we're doing this is because I do value what people are saying and seeing. You know, I could legitimately say, you know what, this is the program that I think is best. But that's not something that works. You know, it's about making sure that we can have our eyes on the things that are in front of our kids and make the best decision that we can based on what it is that we know. And the sooner that we can come to a decision on it, and hopefully mid-year, then we can everyone start thinking about planning. What does planning really look like for September? So that we're not in a space where we get to June and we're like, oh, this is what we're gonna do, and no one's been able to get their feet like situated and ready to go. So I'm hoping that, you know, between now and February, between the work that you guys are doing with Beth and visiting schools and looking at the programs, and then connecting with our vendors to come in and do a little bit of another showcase so that we can really look at what those programs look like, get a firmer understanding, then we can make an educated choice as a collective group.
Joe, what
So,
did you?
she chose her words carefully. I'm just gonna speak my mind, as usual.
It's weird, I wouldn't expect you to do that.
I went in, really? Surprised. I went in with my math AP lens. The teacher was very good, right? My concern always has been, it's important for students to talk, to figure things out. It is more important that they're doing math. The only math they did today was he gave them the only calculation they did was they gave them a French flag, right? And the question says, they have the same width. Figure out the percent of each area.
Each color in the way.
Each column.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, because in mathematics you have a problem. What do you mean by the width? Because if the flag is this way, this could be the width, or this could be the width. Right? So, I thought I heard the teacher say that. So when he started walking around, I asked him, did you say the width was the same? He looked, goes, oh, the areas are the same. So now that's the flaw of the curriculum. Because the whole idea of doing presentation is for them to realize that the area, because if you look at the flag this way, right, this is a rectangle, so these are the same. They're talking about this width, but you have to be more specific, because in a different language, length is in Korean, in Chinese, length is always the longer one, width is always the shorter one. So if you look at this way, the width will be this. But in English, you say width, you got to be more careful. But that's a part of the curriculum. You have to be precise in mathematics. That's the whole idea. You can't leave room open for kids to guess. Right?
So, but the one part that I would disagree with you in terms of the idea of not being precise, doesn't mean that the kids are not being precise because they're coming up with a solution set that might not be the
curriculum.
Yeah.
Curriculum.
Yeah. But the curriculum leaves things open for kids to make decisions around how to solve. It doesn't mean that the response that they came up with is not precise. That's not what that's saying.
Wait, the language has to be precise. Like
That I don't disagree with. I'm talking about the idea of coming up with a solution set.
No.
There's precision in
I'm
a
talking
student
about
solution
You
set.
are asking kids to assume the width is the top one
Mhm.
to come to the conclusion. But once the teacher has the area, you just give the problem away,
Mhm.
right? So now, nobody wrote, okay, some kids wrote 33.3 with the bar on top of 3. Some kids wrote 33 and 1/3. Nobody wrote 33 1/3%.
Mhm.
That was his question.
Yeah.
So the curriculum has to be more, okay, so you can't give the teacher say, oh, teach this. You have to be more specific as to, this is what I want you to teach, this is what I want you to achieve.
100%.
That didn't happen. I hold that on the curriculum, it's not the teacher. The teacher is very good. The moment I asked him that question, he goes, oh, the area is the same. And
Yeah,
I
so
said,
listen,
"Okay,
I always say
teach
this
it
though, I mean, the programs are gonna have what they have, you know, but, you know, the paper or the digital space that those programs are on is not what teaches. Programs don't teach. I'll say that over and over.
I understand.
Programs
But you
don't
have
do
to be-
that. So we have to be able to make decisions too. So
This
if there's
was a
something
veteran
that.
teacher.
It has nothing to do with whether the person, but could be the most outstanding person in the world. That's not, my point is not about how outstanding the teacher was. Teachers are, in District 25, in my opinion, terrific. But if we see that there's something that is of issue, then we make a change. We don't necessarily do it just because if it's not written there, but it's important, we include it. That's basically what I mean by that.
The teacher could have simply asked, which one do you think is the width?
Yeah, so, I mean, but those are the types of things that can be adjusted over time. That's what I mean by that.
Well, so like I said, we were there, what, half an hour, 40 minutes, whatever the length was. That's the only calculation they did.
And that was illustrative at
Illustrative.
Yeah,
illustrative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't give a lot of practice.
Yeah, they gotta do
With-
this,
It was
because
just a quick set of
when they take
numbers.
algebra 2, pre-calc, calc, they gotta be able to do this, not taught.
Mhm.
All the kids who fail.
And it was a seventh grade class.
If my recollection serves me correctly, all the kids who fail algebra in Francis High School can tell you precisely what they had to do to solve an equation. They just can't do it. To tell to isolate the variable, and they don't have the skill.
So, yeah, listen, I understand where you're coming from. I appreciate the context of you being someone who taught math and supervised mathematics. The expectations around precision and the expectations around practice doesn't necessarily change. The volume of practice, perhaps, that we're talking about might also be a little bit different. I don't necessarily believe in giving kids 20 problems that are the same for me to know whether or not that child understands it. I can pretty much gather that in the first few as to whether or not if there's conceptual understanding. Giving them 20 around the same thing, I don't know that does anything really for a child. That's my own personal opinion, but.
I don't disagree with you. Our issue was getting kids from middle school, they've done something wrong every day, 20 times, multiplied by whatever. It will take us forever to correct it.
Mhm.
Forever. I don't think giving 20 problems is bad if and only if you know every kid can do it the correct way, or it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, listen, I think repetition's important. I just don't know whether or not it serves, especially if you're a child who's a struggling learner. Now, I struggled in that first problem, now you're asking me to do 20 of them.
They can't. See, that's the other thing, the assessment part.
So it's not necessarily can't. I would like putting a stamp on any child that they can't do something. I think the feedback that comes is important. But my point of saying that is I can give a kid an entire document of math problems. And, if from the word go they're having difficulty, the levels of frustration that begin for children is why they start beginning to say things like, I cannot stand math. I don't love math. I hate math. All of that language comes from that space of a kid that we know as teachers, even as parents at times. They come home and they'll have a problem, and then a series of them. Now we have to try to coach them through as a parent when they're struggling to now go do these other 10 that you screamed and yelled for after the first one. That was a hard time, right? So it's about how do we make sure that kids have an understanding of what it is that they are actually doing.
But that's on the teacher. You shouldn't be giving kids 20 problems to do unless they are able to do it.
No, I know, but the point of reference was around practice. Practice doesn't imply doing one problem.
What math class are you taking? AP Calc? How many homework problems do you get? 5?
I have like a packet for homework.
Wait, but how many are you responsible for each night? Depends on the question, right?
Yeah.
Right, could be 5 or 10.
Yeah.
I rest my case.
I don't know what your case is, though.
My case is the teacher has to make sure the kids know what's going on.
Of course,
Some
of
my
course.
teacher will say, I gave an exit slip. I will say, that's a horrible idea. What do you mean? Everybody does it. I said, wait, come out. So you have 34 kids. 10 kids showed you they didn't know what to do with the problem. What are you going to do tomorrow in terms of homework?
What are you going to do tomorrow in terms of homework?
The next day, because you gave them homework on something they couldn't do. What do you do the next day? You have to make sure every single student knows how. They may have challenge, they may have difficulty doing it, but they have to know how to proceed before you give them the 5, 10, 20 problems, which is not the case in the older days in the
I
District
think
26.
you're both really saying the same
Similar thing,
things.
yeah,
Similar
yeah.
things, yeah.
Anyway, I won't fight with you, because
No, it's not a fight. It's not a fight.
Hours.
I don't see it as a fight. It's the same, it's
You're seeing this in a different.
It's a different
saying it another
perspective.
way, yeah.
It's coming at it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other feedback from you guys on your visits?
No, but I'm gonna do second to adjourn.
Okay.
You're gonna let him go.
8:56.
You know, his daughter won. You know.
Okay,
So-
are we going right into business meeting?
Yes.
Can I mention something to you guys really
Yes.
quick that I'm excited about? I'd love to get your feedback. So it is around sports, and I'm saying this only because Joe mentioned it. But I'm really interested in doing something that's kind of called like a Ring of Honor. So for kids that have gone through our basketball program or any of our sports programs, that we, at the end, if they wind up making it to play college ball, or we do have a student from PSMS 200 that is playing in the NBA right now.
Oh, wow.
New Orleans Pelicans.
Yeah.
Jose Alvarado.
Jose Alvarado is a PSMS 200. I'm actually hoping he comes, we're looking to retire his number at PSMS 200 if he can meet us there when he's playing New York in the coming weeks.
Cool.
But what I was saying, just to kind of promote this idea of, yes, you're going to always hear me talk about academics, but I do think these are things that are just nice for kids.
Mm-hmm.
So during an all-star game, invite all of our alumni to come and kind of well-wish our kids, those that manage to become a collegiate athlete or professional athlete, that we welcome them, and then kind of retire their numbers, kind of. I don't know.
Palladino was just meeting with members who graduated from Bayside High. They were professional athletes
Yeah.
to redesign, meeting with them to redesign the new football field.
Yeah.
That was my year.
Yeah.
The Harmon brothers.
Yeah.
They went to Iowa. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I don't know, it's just something I'm thinking. If you guys think that would be a good idea, I'd love
That'd
to
be
get your
pretty
feedback
cool.
on it. I just thought it would be fun.
PS22, Scotty Machado. He led the nation years ago at Iona in assists, and he played about, I think, 5 to 7 games in the NBA. I knew when he was this high, the smallest kid, he was going to be a star. All he needed is a little bit. He grew. It's unbelievable. You see it. And,
Yeah. Wouldn't it be, I think it would be fun.
The teachers,
I don't know.
yeah, the teachers at 22 still have connections.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, that's it, I'm done.
You're good. Okay, so 8:58, I'm gonna do roll call real quick. Joseph Chow?
Present.
Catherine St. Pierre?
Here.
Wendy, you?
Present.
I'm present. Shirley? Lee?
Present.
Alvin Hung?
Present.
Shirley Jang? Okay.
Oh, you have to let the public know that our general meeting, has been adjourned. and
Nobody except his daughter.
Oh, I just want to make sure that no one.
Yeah, no, there's nobody else. It's just his daughter. You can tell your daughter to log off, though.
Sure, no problem.
If she doesn't mind.
Wait, your daughter's watching you?
She went till 10, but I figured, no, you can go on the Zoom.
That's hilarious. So we already really covered everything for the town hall. So we could kind of skip over that. For new business, I have 2 things. First, the AA. I have not gotten any other names from anybody. So there's 4 names.
I sent mine.
I know you sent it, and then I sent, because some people said they couldn't open your file also, so I resent the file. But I have 4 names so far that I've seen from 2 or 3 of us. So I'm just gonna move forward with asking their availability
Okay.
so that we could start interviewing, because if we keep waiting, I feel like we're gonna never end.
No, those resumes are from July already. Who knows
Yeah,
what those people
because so I don't want them
said.
to become like not eligible.
Yeah.
Second thing is, I look at the inbox every other day right now, due to my availability with work and things like that. I would like to see if there is somebody else that, and I did mention this to Alvin, to see if he would be interested. If there's somebody else that would like to also take on the task of keeping an eye on the inbox for me. So, because we do get an influx of emails and it's a lot to manage when also running around doing your kids, running up, jumping on other meetings. So if somebody's willing to step in and help with that, it would help us kind of stay on top of it. So I did ask Alvin if he would be interested, but if somebody else is interested and would like to step up on that, I can help get you guys situated. Lewis and I were talking about how to get access.
I have a question.
Yes.
Wait,
When are
did
we gonna
Alvin,
get
did Alvin?
That's why we're talking about it.
We're interviewing tomorrow. There's schools, so
And that's why I just said this. I'm gonna reach out to these 4 people that I've seen multiple names, and we're gonna try to get interviews
I don't
scheduled.
mind logging in and, taking a look at what's in our inbox.
If it's something important, like you could, or you think that I need to respond to, you could let me know. If it's something that we could forward to the members, you would just forward to the CEC member email. That's really all it is. It's just a matter of me having the availability to log in every day versus every other day.
Well, I can probably log in once per day or.
Yeah, that would be, yeah, it'd be, I could let you know, hey, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'll log in, hey, can you look Tuesday, Thursday? Something like that. Okay. So I will work with you, Alvin, I'll keep you posted on getting you added so that you can access it. So that we can kind of both keep an eye on that, and we'll make a schedule of that. With that, I do want to also just address something really quick. I know there's been some concern that there has been a lack of communication. I don't want anyone to feel that I'm not communicating anything, so I want to address that to everyone. I'm doing the best I can. This past 2 weeks, there have been a lot of meetings that I've had to attend to. Plus, obviously, with holidays, with Halloween, there was a lot of school events going on as well, and I was with no voice last week. So I apologize if anyone felt that there was a lack of communication, but I have an open door. Any questions, concerns, please come to me. And I want us to continue to work together as a council and make sure that we're doing everything we need for our community. So I just wanted to put that out there. Does anybody else have any other new business? Okay. Somebody want to?
I guess for now, we only gotta really focus on
Oh,
town
no,
hall.
the,
What?
candidate for the,
Yes.
vacant seat.
Okay, so I spoke to Maribel actually earlier. There was an issue with her application, and she was told to resend it. She resent it to us, and I
She
didn't know
signed it.
why.
She signed it.
No, but there was another version she sent again, and I didn't know why until I spoke to Maribel when she got here. So I did forward that to Maribel, so we're gonna have that looked at, and hopefully we'll be able to schedule an interview for the candidate if she's vetted to be able to move forward.
Okay.
And there was one other person that has reached out with potential interest, but she had said she wanted to come to see a meeting first, and she was supposed to come today, but did not attend.
That's not a good.
She wasn't on, I didn't see
Oh, no?
online either.
Okay.
So I will follow up with her to see what her interest
Okay.
level is and what, she's got younger children, so I will follow up on that. So yeah, there's the answer to that question. Anything else, new business wise?
I think just town
Town hall.
for this month.
Yeah.
Are we gonna do something like with Christmas or no?
That was I guess that's my other question. Other than that, is there any specific topic that anyone wants on December's calendar meeting? Do we want somebody specific to come talk about something? Are we due for SEA soon? I wasn't sure where we were
Yeah,
up to
that
with
should be
that.
coming. Let me touch base with them. I think usually you do it in January.
January.
I feel like
So I didn't know
it's
if
SEA.
there's another topic that we might possibly ask somebody to come speak to us about, if anyone has any suggestions there for our December meeting.
We have a really long.
I don't even remember. I'd have to look back at my
You
agenda.
can always look back at the agenda. We can look back at the agenda from last year to see what it was in December.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yes.
So I'm just looking at the manual, the month-by-month planning guide. So November, if you have not done so already, starting to work with SCA's schedule presentations on
So it was
campus.
starting in December.
and December starting to lose that information, with your school visits.
That matches
Start
actually,
thinking
because I
about
just pulled up the December agenda from last year. So I guess we'll see if we can get Ben to come.
Yeah, I can reach out to Ben.
I've been emailing with him a little bit about some other issues. So if we can get him, that would be,
Yeah, and there's gonna be he's gonna talk about the new school too.
Okay.
On Colden Street. They'll talk
so
about
we'll
that.
aim for December to focus
Near
in on
Colden Street. I
SEI.
forget the name.
Somebody wanna make a
block,
motion?
but
Yeah.
Over there.
Motion to adjourn.
Somebody want a second? There you go.
Yay.
Done.
Congratulations.
Oh, yeah, let me show you. This is so fun.
Yes.
So this is her news day.
Wow.
So Catherine, yes, you have the attendance from last month.
That's my daughter, yeah. So this is after
Or
she
is it
actually
Shirley?
hit the game-winning
It's okay, I just want to put it in
kill,
the full.
and that's her after
You're
all her
amazing.
teammates.
Thank you.
So cool, yeah. West Suffolk County, Class A, Class AA.
So happy for
Yeah, see, look, oh, yeah, hold on.
My
because-
sister, I mean, not my daughters will say, yeah.
Emily didn't turn back.